Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to getting really well informed fast. Today we're diving into something that promises, well, pretty radical change actually, and a kind of blueprint for world-class results. We're exploring how to unlock serious competitiveness, and our guide is a real legend, Norman Bodek. He's the person who brought so many game-changing ideas from Japan over to the West.
Yeah, a true pioneer.
Exactly. And our deep dive today uses Norman Bodek's own insights, specifically from his work on the power and magic of lean. So our mission isn't about if we should aim for world class, it's about the how. How do you actually get there?
That's it, precisely. And what we'll see is that lean, it's not just some toolkit or a bunch of buzzwords. It's really a deep shift in how we think about work itself, what value really is, and maybe most importantly, the people doing the work.
Okay.
This dive should really show how world-class competitiveness isn't this distant dream. It's totally achievable if you genuinely understand and apply these ideas.
Okay, let's start with Norman Bodek himself. His story is incredible. It wasn't luck. It was like this deliberate, almost obsessive search for knowledge, right?
Absolutely. She saw a gap and just went for it.
He founded Productivity Inc. back in '79, then Productivity Press in '82. These weren't just companies, they were channels, ways to get this knowledge out there.
Yeah.
And get this, he made 78 trips to Japan. 78. All just to understand and share these methods. Can you imagine?
It's really something. And the key thing isn't just that he went, but like you said, who he met and what he brought back. I mean, he basically introduced the West to the entire Toyota production system.
A whole philosophy.
Right, the thinking behind Toyota's success. And quality control circles, too, empowering people on the front lines. He did the first JIT seminar Just-in-Time back in '81.
JIT. Okay. Delivering just what's needed when it's needed.
Exactly. But maybe the biggest introductions were Dr. Shigeo Shingo and Taiichi Ono. Shingo gave us SMED single-minute exchange of dies, slashing changeover times.
Huge for efficiency.
Oh, massive. And Poka-yoke, which is mistake-proofing. And 5S for organizing the workplace. Plus his whole idea of managerial engineering. And then he met Taiichi Ono himself in '82, the architect of the whole Toyota system.
Wow. That's a legacy right there. He didn't just learn it.
Yeah.
He translated, published, taught it. He got the Shingo Prize, Industry Week Hall of Fame. Totally deserved.
Yeah.
Author, teacher, really the guide to Japanese management. It sets the stage perfectly for understanding how deep these principles go.
It really does.
So, okay, history's great, but what does this mean for you listening right now? How did this apply? Well, at the very heart of lean, there's this equation. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Ideal minus current equals waste, ICW.
Simple but profound.
It drives everything. It's this systematic way to find and just get rid of anything that doesn't add value for the customer.
Yeah.
Taiichi Ono himself said it best, didn't he?
He did. He said, all we are doing is looking at the timeline from the moment the customer gives us an order to the point when we collect the cash. And we are reducing that timeline by removing the non-value-added wastes.
Just shrinking that timeline. That's the goal.
Exactly. And to do that, you have to understand those wastes, what Toyota calls Muda. It's crucial. They identified 9 types you need to constantly look for. First is overproduction, making too much, too soon.
Building inventory nobody's asked for yet.
Right. Ties up cash, space, everything. Second, waiting. People waiting, machines waiting, any idle time. Third, non-utilized talents. This one's huge and often missed. Not using your employees' brain, their ideas.
Yeah, that feels like a big one.
It is. Fourth, transportation. Moving stuff around unnecessarily, at zero value, just cost and risk. Fifth, inventory. Anything more than you need for smooth one-piece flow. Remember that river analogy? Inventory hides the rocks, the problem.
Right. Lower the water, see the problems.
Exactly. Sixth, motion. Wasted movement. Reaching, bending, walking around looking for things. Stuff that doesn't actually build the product or deliver the service. Seventh, defects. Errors, rework, scrap. Obvious waste, very costly. Eighth, extra processing. Doing more work than the customer actually values or pays for. Think unnecessary inspections, redundant steps.
Oh, okay.
And finally, number 9, resistance to change, especially from management. There's that quote from Toyota's Hiroshi Ikuda.
What was that?
He said, I want everyone at Toyota to change and at least do not be an obstacle for someone else who wants to change. Basically, get on board or get out of the way.
Wow, blunt. So of those 9, which one do you find is the hardest for companies to really tackle, even the ones trying hard?
That's a really good question. I think it often comes back to that third one, non-utilized talent. Because it's invisible, right?
Yeah.
It's not a pile of parts or a waiting machine, But the cost of not engaging your people, not getting their ideas, it's immense. It's like a silent killer of innovation and morale.
That makes total sense. And maybe the most mind-blowing stat about waste comes from Dr. Shingo, who Bodek introduced. Shingo figured out that typically only about 5% of any process actually adds value for the customer. 5%.
Yes, staggering, isn't it?
Which means 95% is non-value added activity,
Oh.
waste. The potential for improvement is just massive. And it's not even a new idea, really. Henry Ford said way back in 1924.
Right, right.
The longer an article is in the process of manufacture and the more it is moved about, the greater is its ultimate cost. Same principle.
Exactly the same principle. So to build on that foundation, Toyota has these two main pillars. They're intertwined. First is just-in-time, JIT. We touched on it, making what's needed, when it's needed, and the amount needed. Eliminates waste like inventory and waiting.
Okay, pillar one.
JIT.
Pillar two is Jidoka, sometimes called automation with a human touch. It's about building quality in its source.
Not just inspecting it later. No, exactly. Don't pass defects on. Stop the process if there's a problem. Empower anyone to stop the line. And crucially, both JIT and Jidoka, they rest on this foundation of respect for people, trusting employees, giving them tools.
And that respect, that trust, that flows right into Kaizen, doesn't it? Continuous improvement.
Perfectly.
It's more than just improvement. It's like transforming value. It's a daily thing involving everyone. It makes work less burdensome, teaches people how to see waste and fix it scientifically. It's not a project. It's
a mindset, a culture.
Right, culture. But that idea you mentioned, humanizing the workplace through Kaizen, how does that daily improvement thing actually make work better for the person doing it, beyond just efficiency?
Oh, that's key. It humanizes work because it gives people agency, power. You shift from just following instructions to actively solving problems.
Using your brain.
Exactly. When you're asked constantly, how can we make this better? How can you make your job easier, safer, more interesting? It builds ownership, creativity, self-worth. You're contributing, not just doing.
That sounds way more engaging. But okay, these small improvements, how much impact can they really have? Seems small.
It seems small, but it's astonishingly powerful. The idea is to aim for just like 0.1% improvement everywhere, every day. Sounds tiny, right?
Yeah, minuscule.
But compound that. Over 3 years, that 0.1% daily improvement can actually double productivity. It's like the source says, it's the accumulation of continuous hits. Think baseball, lots of singles win games, not just swing for home runs all the time.
Singles, not home runs. I like that. Consistent effort pays off.
Profoundly.
But okay, that 0.1% daily sounds great. But what stops companies from keeping that going? What's the barrier?
Often, honestly, it's leadership. It only works if leaders truly empower people. If they slip back into tell mode instead of ask mode.
Right.
Or if they punish mistakes instead of learning from them, that Kaizen spirit just dies. It needs constant tending from the top, supporting those daily improvements, not just focusing on big projects.
That makes sense. Because, doing things the same way and expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity, right?
Pretty much.
Lean offers such a different leadership model.
Yeah.
Can you break down that contrast? The lean leader versus the, let's say, traditional manager.
Yeah, the source lays it out clearly.
Ugh.
Lean leaders ask questions, they listen, they focus on developing people, they give praise, they're physically present, walking the floor, observing, engaging. They genuinely care. They drive change.
Okay, asking, listening, developing.
Whereas the more traditional manager often doesn't really listen, maybe uses fear, criticizes failures, stays in the office, resists change because it's disruptive to their routine.
Big difference. One enables, the other controls.
Exactly. The leader facilitates improvement from everyone. The manager often thinks they have all the answers.
And when you do empower people, like that leader does, the results can be stunning. Share some of those examples.
Oh, they're fantastic. Look at Technicolor Michigan. They went from like 250 suggestions in 2001 to over 24,000 suggestions by 2004. And those ideas saved them $10 million from 1,800 people.
10 million.
Or
Wow.
Gulfstream, 40,000 ideas from 1,000 people in 1 year. Just 5 years earlier, they only got 350 ideas total.
Incredible job.
And Autoliv, the safety systems company, their goal was 96 ideas per employee per year.
96.
And it's not always massive things. Remember Claudia Washington's idea? The bubble wrap dispenser?
Yeah, the simple one.
Simple, right. Stop bending, twisting, got rid of a trip hazard, saved $14,000 a year just from one small, smart change implemented by the person doing the work.
That really drives it home. It shows why that quick and easy Kaizen system works. It's built for simplicity, right?
Absolutely.
The core is asking everyone for just one idea a week. Make work easier, more interesting, improve skills, environment, cost, quality, safety, flow, customer service, anything. And the three keys are you implement it, you surface it, write it down, and you share it, post it, talk about it.
Implement, surface, share. Simple.
The process. Spot a problem, get an idea, do it yourself if you can, or with your team. Figure out the savings, write it up, submit, share. Easy. So what's the biggest roadblock to getting that system working everywhere?
I think it comes back to what the source calls the secret, which is you can always find holes in another person's idea. Always.
True. We love to
So
criticize.
do. So a good Kaizen system has to actively fight that. It needs to encourage positive, constructive feedback. How can we make this idea work? Not why won't it work?
Shift the focus. Build on it.
Exactly. Foster that learning environment where people feel safe trying things. It links back to Taiichi Ohno saying people don't go to Toyota to work, they go there to think.
Go there to think. Love that. Transforms the whole idea of a job.
It does.
Okay, let's switch to quality now. This brings up Poka-yoke. Mistake proofing. How does this change the game from just catching mistakes to preventing them entirely?
It's a total shift in perspective. Instead of relying on inspection after the fact to catch defects, Poka-yoke aims for 0 defects by designing the process or using devices so that errors are either impossible to make in the first place or they're caught immediately before they become a defect.
So it tackles the cause, not just the symptom.
Precisely. Like the source says, defects are the effect, errors are the cause. Poka-yoke hits the cause.
Makes sense. Can you give some of those everyday examples, things we might see?
Yeah, the source has great ones. Filing cabinets where only one drawer opens at a time so it doesn't tip over. That's Poka-yoke.
Oh, okay.
Or the gas pump area on your car. The nozzle size prevents putting leaded fuel in an unleaded tank. The tethered gas cap so you don't lose it. The clicking sound when it's tight enough.
Right. Never thought of those that way.
Bathroom sinks with overflow holes, irons that shut off automatically, pens that retract when clipped in your pocket.
Prevents ink stains.
Exactly. And modern ones like those smart bins in warehouses with lights and sensors to make sure you pick the right part, all designed to prevent the error.
It's everywhere once you look for it. And this idea extends to learning from errors too, right? Dr. Fukuda's on-error training.
Yes, very powerful. The rules are interesting. An error happens, stop work, call everyone involved.
The whole group.
The whole group. The person who found the error leads the discussion to find the root cause. And here's the key part. The supervisor has to wait. They let the team figure it out first, maybe using the 5 whys.
Asking why 5 times to get to the root.
Right. Only after the team identifies the cause can the supervisor jump in to help guide the solution. It empowers the team to solve their own problems.
That builds capability right there.
Absolutely. And it connects perfectly to Heinrich's law from safety. You know, for every 1 major accident, there are 29 minor injuries and 300 near misses or unsafe acts. It's the same for quality. By tackling those 300 small errors, those little process glitches, you prevent the 29 minor problems and the 1 big disaster. Addressing small errors proactively prevents big failures. Every error becomes a chance to learn and improve.
So pulling it all together, we've covered Bodek, waste, GIT, Jidoka, Kaizen, Poka-yoke. It's clear lean isn't just one tool. It's a whole system, an ecosystem.
Definitely.
And these ideas connect to other things people might know, like the Shingo principles, respect every individual, lead with humility, or the 5S steps for workplace organization.
Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain. Yep.
Or even DMAIC from Six Sigma, or Dr. Deming's 14 points. They all seem to share DNA, focusing on people and continuous improvement.
They really do. They're all interconnected pieces serving that larger goal. Constant improvement, driven by respect for the people doing the work. It's not about memorizing acronyms. It's about understanding how these tools empower people to think, to see problems, and to drive change themselves, creating that genuine learning organization.
Yeah. It's a powerful vision. As we wrap up, I keep thinking about that Temple Grandin quote. When I was younger, I was looking for this magic meaning of life. It's very simple now. Making the lives of others better, doing something of lasting value. That's the meaning of life. It's that simple.
That fits perfectly.
There's a real sense of purpose in applying these lean ideas, not just for the bottom line, but for making work better, more meaningful for people.
It does, and that brings up a challenge for you, the listener. Albert Einstein apparently said something like, a society's competitive advantage will come not from how its schools teach the multiplication and periodic tables, but from how well they stimulate imagination and creativity.
Interesting.
So the question is, how can you apply these principles, eliminating waste, yes, but especially empowering people to think, to contribute in your own work, your own life? Where can you spark that imagination and creativity?
What small continuous hits, those singles, can you make this week? Not just to improve a process, but maybe to make someone's work life just a little bit easier, a little more joyful. Think about the possibilities that open up when we really focus on empowering people and cutting out the waste, one small step at a time.